In this video, I want to explain how the ego's trials works. Every time you make an intention of change, every time you try and get out of your comfort zone to do something new, there will always appear the ego's trial to challenge you to say, like, are you sure that you want to do that which is new? Are you sure you want to let go of the old and go towards the direction of the new? So what is this? Why does this happen? When we expand our consciousness, you can imagine it's like a vase. And if we expand our consciousness, we sort of enlarge this vase, and we can imagine like more light goes in. And as more light goes in, the bits and pieces of old stuff, which would be the ego's residues or egoic identifications that are still there lodged in your body, they are suddenly lit up. They suddenly come to light. So what happens is, we can graphically depict this like these old egoic identifications that are still there and that do not resonate with the new opening of consciousness. They must come out to finally leave. Now, normally we think, okay, I've got it, I learned, I now know how to say no to people who bully me, for example. So then what will happen is that suddenly you'll confront, right afterwards, you'll confront a bully. So you put to trial that new determination that you have just made. Quite often, what happens is, since we don't know about this dynamic, when the trial comes up, we push it back down. And if we push it back down, then our consciousness level goes back to where it was before, or maybe a little bit more. So, for example, imagine you decide to have your own timetable and your own schedule, and you're the one that says when you're supposed to, I don't know, if you have a shop, open it or close it, even though normally people expect you to be opened at a certain other timetable. So then when you decide to make this change, the first thing that will happen is that you will get people angry almost immediately because you were not open when they expected it. This is to challenge that egoic identification that you had with, I have to abide to the timetable that is stipulated by society or by mainstream or by the city I live in, right? So the idea is, always when you make a change, the old egoic identifications will come up, and sometimes they might even seem bigger than normal or more absurd than normal. And that is there for it to permanently leave your body. So what we have to do is recognize it as the old and say, and stop feeding it basically, and stop identifying with it. So you say, okay, this is the old, I release it, I let it go. Because it has to move out of your body. Why does it have to move out of your body? Well, basically, our mind is quicker in learning and in expanding, because it is not material, than our body. So our body has to accompany our mind in its expansion. So it's a bit like, first goes the mind, and then comes the body. And the body has to go towards the mind and catch up to its expansion and support the expansion of the mind. So if the body does not support the expansion of the mind, then the mind goes back to the old patterns. So this is why the egoic identifications, which are stored in our body as cellular memories, they must be dislodged from the body, so as the body can catch up to the new resolution the mind has made. So in short, every time we intend to change, to do something new, we will have to face always the ego's trials. And those ego's trials are the old patterns coming back, sometimes in a very exaggerated or even absurd manner, to challenge you. And then you have to choose, will I still feed the old patterns? Or will I understand they are just showing up so they can be released? And I will continue to go forth and feed the new commitment or the new strategies or the new vision I wish to hold. So that way your body can catch up to your mind.